people can come in.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
One man is recovering from gunshot wounds after a road rage incident in Chapel Hill. The photo police hope will lead to the 4 people responsible.
It's do or die for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. They must win. Elizabeth.
That's right. I'm watching the chance for a few thunderstorms. A few of those are starting to pop up down south. I'll show you the timeline for when they'll continue to move north.
Chapel Hill police are still searching for 4 people accused in a road rage shooting that injured a man last night. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for joining us this noon. We are learning how police were able to respond to a scene even before a 911 call was made. WRAL's Sarah Kruger is live on Fordham Boulevard in Chapel Hill with those details and a look at the people responsible. Sarah.
Jeff, I learned this morning that a Chapel Hill police officer happened to be right here in this area and heard the gunshots and was able to find the victim right away. I'll pause for that siren. Now, something that is pretty unique about this case is that there is a photo of the suspects, and it was taken by the victim.
This is the photo Chapel Hill police hope will help them solve this crime. Police tell me it was taken by the victim. In it, you see 4 people, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Police say this, pointed out the window, is an assault rifle. Taking a closer look at the man holding it, you can see he has facial hair. Next to him, someone turning away from the camera in a red shirt. In the front seat, 2 more people. One in a 2-tone blue jacket with a hood. Driving, someone in a white shirt with a marking on their arm that appears possibly to be a Band-Aid. The car, police say, is a blue Mazda sedan. In the photo, you can see a tree-shaped air freshener hanging from the rear-view mirror. On the front passenger side, a scrape on the door. Police say the shooting was prompted by an argument on the road between the suspects and the victim about getting cut off while driving.
And if any of that rings a bell to you, police would love to hear from you. Now, as for the victim, he was injured in the leg, according to police, and taken to UNC hospitals. He is expected to be okay. Jeff and Renee.
All right, Sarah Kruger reporting live for us this noon. Thank you.
We have settled into a hot and humid weather pattern. Typically, we'll see afternoon storms. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center to explain why our chances are more limited today.
Oh, that's right. So we're going to start off with a look at the Dual Doppler 5000 radar. It's pretty quiet. A couple of things to watch. There are a couple of light showers that have developed back here around Greensboro. Most of the activity has developed down south. So let's take a look here. We had a shower in Garland, which is in the southern part of Sampson County. That's moving on to the east toward Magnolia and Rose Hill and out of our viewing area. But we're likely to see more of these developing down south where we've got just a little bit more humidity. So a little bit more moisture down here, and the clouds have cleared a little bit more there, giving a little more energy to the atmosphere for those storms to develop in that area. We take a look across North Hills. There's some breaks in the clouds out there, certainly, but you can see what a big deck of clouds we have. The more clouds we have, the longer they stick around where you are, the longer it's going to take for the thunderstorms to develop, and we just may not see as many. So here's Futurecast now, and you can see as we head through the afternoon, the bulk of the activity is going to be south and east of the Triangle area. Any storms that develop are probably not going to move very fast, and so they could produce some heavy rain, but I wouldn't expect to see any wind damage out of this. And around the Triangle area, we'll have a very low chance of that. Most of the storms we see today will be south of the Triangle or south and east. Hour by hour, it's definitely going to be a warm one, climbing into the mid-80s and holding there until the evening. And then we're going to see a repeat of this tomorrow. Our chances for showers and storms do go up later in the week with a cold front. I'll show you when that arrives coming up.
Direct care workers for the elderly and disabled could soon make more money in North Carolina. This morning, State House lawmakers held hearings on proposals to add more money to Medicaid to increase the workers' pay. WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie joins us with today's developments. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Renee. The House Health Committee passed 2 bills unanimously today to increase the pay for direct care staff from group homes to nursing homes and even home health care aides. These are the workers who feed, bathe, toilet, and give medication to disabled and elderly people in facilities as well as in home settings. It is grueling work, but they make only about $10.50 per hour. There was already a severe shortage of certified nurse aides and home health aides before the pandemic, and COVID made the shortages worse. Rising wages in other job sectors like retail and fast food are making it even harder for these facilities to compete for workers. Representative Donna White is the sponsor of one of the bills. She says turnover rates are at 56% for these workers, the highest it's ever been, and as many as 1/3 of the jobs needed for adequate staffing are vacant.
Many of our healthcare companies who depend on Medicaid as their sole source of revenue do not have that financial flexibility to increase their wages, and we're not able to keep up.
Taken together, the 2 bills they heard this morning would add hundreds of millions of dollars to the state's Medicaid budget to increase reimbursement rates. Most of those bills passed that House committee bipartisan unanimously, but it's not clear at this point whether the Senate will agree to that much of a spending increase. Renee?
We know you'll keep following this. Laura Leslie, thanks. New abortion restrictions could get one step closer to becoming law. The Senate will vote on a bill banning abortions because of an unborn child's chances of developing Down syndrome. Republicans sponsoring the bill argue it's discrimination to abort a fetus with Down syndrome. Opponents, including doctors, say a blanket ban would hurt families faced with difficult choices. Today's vote is at 4 p.m.
Micaiah Thurman here in the WRAL Live Center. The White House COVID-19 briefing happened this morning with a big announcement. Here's a look at that meeting. They said that the American Hospital Association has the ability now to bring vaccines to people's workplaces through member hospitals. This is all in an effort in order to get those vaccinations up. As of right now, more than 85% of adults over 65 have gotten 1 dose. In total, they've administered about 300 million doses of the vaccine. Back to you.
Good news in the number of COVID-19 cases in children. The latest data shows the number of new weekly cases in children has dropped to its lowest level in a year. However, the children represented 17% of the new weekly cases. Pfizer is moving into the next phase of its trial, testing its coronavirus vaccine in children. Pfizer says the study will involve children ages 11 and younger. The trials will take place at more than 90 clinical sites in the U.S. and abroad. Each child will still receive 2 doses. And a bipartisan group of lawmakers released a bill in Congress today that says it will improve the nation's stockpile of critical medical supplies. The bill would increase funding from the stockpile from $610 million to $705 million for fiscal years 2022 through 2024. Today, you can get a COVID-19 shot without an appointment in Durham. North Carolina Central University is hosting a walk-in clinic. It's been going since 10 a.m. It'll last until 3:45 this afternoon and will be held at the Walker PE Complex. That's on Alston Avenue. First and second doses of the Moderna and Pfizer shot will be available, as well as the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And you can easily find a full list of vaccine sites near you by going to WRAL.com or the WRAL News app. Just click the Find a Vaccine banner on our homepage.
On any given day and under any given circumstance, thousands of people experience homelessness every day in North Carolina. The issue of ending homelessness is the focus of a virtual conference that started today. WRAL's Ken Smith is monitoring that conference. He joins us now with some of the big takeaways so far. Ken.
Renee, we looked at some statistics on homelessness in North Carolina by the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness. As of January 2020, more than 9,000 people experienced homelessness all across North Carolina. Of that number, a little more than 800 were household families, almost 800 were veterans, and more than 1,200 were people experiencing chronic homelessness. Again, these numbers are from a year ago, and experts say have likely increased because of the pandemic. It is well documented people in Wake County and all across our state have had a hard time making ends meet the last year and a half. Some of those same people have experienced some form of homelessness during that time. Now, the numbers and these circumstances point out the urgency for today's conference in ending homelessness in North Carolina.
We do need to make sure that we are helping the folks most in need in our community first, because that means the length of time homelessness for all of our folks in our community lengthens if we're not doing that.
The goal of this two-day conference is to come up with workable strategies and practices to get people into permanent housing and figure out ways to facilitate efforts to get the assistance to people who need it the most. Now, tomorrow's virtual breakout sessions will focus on racial equity when it comes to providing assistance to people experiencing homelessness. Renee.
Such an important issue to tackle. Ken, thanks. If you live in Wake County, your property taxes will not increase next year. County commissioners voted unanimously for a $1.57 billion spending plan that includes more than $890 million for education. Some of the money will go to launching a new pre-K program for 3-year-olds. The plan also invests more than $700,000 in early voting for the March primary election and increasing the stipend for poll workers to $15 an hour. For a full breakdown of the budget, go to WRAL.com.
Micaiah Thurman here in the WRAL Live Center looking at an incredible scene right now. Let's get right to these live pictures out of Florida where a rescue operation is underway in Orange County. What you're looking at there are construction workers being stuck after their bucket truck hit a transmission line. You can see Orange County Fire Rescue, they're working 40 feet in the air as the line that they hit is still active. This is right off of Consulate Drive in that area. They do say that Duke Energy is headed to the scene. They also work with Duke Energy in order to rescue these workers. You can see a couple of them. This is a very active scene. We'll stay on top of it here in the WRAL Live Center. Back to you.
Big news for bluegrass fans. The IBMA World of Bluegrass is returning to Raleigh. WRAL has long been a sponsor of this music festival. Venues across the city, including the Convention Center and the Red Hat Amphitheater, will feature music from some of the best bluegrass bands in the world this fall. Artists including Bella Fleck and the Steep Canyon Rangers will perform during the week of September 28th through October 2nd. The festival will be mostly in person. Public tickets go on sale June 15th. Next at noon, the Senate report is out on the January 6th Capitol riots. What is in the findings and what is conspicuously absent?
Also, the puck drops tonight on Game 5 for the Canes. A different puck drop, sending a lucky fan to the game.
Plus, Vice President Kamala Harris wraps up her first foreign trip. What her last stop on it means for migration to the U.S. border.
Download the new WRAL streaming apps on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Android TV.
I'm not a rapist. I'm not a Ted Bundy.
He pled guilty to sexual battery.
I got backed into a corner by the prosecutor.
If you are innocent, you're guilty of being dumber than a box of rocks.
Next, Dr. Phil.
Today at 3 on WRAL.
Stay connected with the WRAL News app.
Get updates from the Triangle's largest news team on your phone. Watch live newscasts and get alerts on news, weather, and traffic.
Download the app, turn on alerts, and turn on the TV.
Have jewelry, diamonds, watches, flatware, or old coins collecting dust? Jewel Recycle, the trusted precious metals buyer, offers the best price for your valuables. Whether you're downsizing, decluttering, inherited it, or have ex-jewelry, we'll buy it for the best possible price. Bring your valuables to one of our Jewel Recycle locations today in Raleigh, Cary, Chapel Hill, or Wilmington for a fast, free assessment.
Driving one of these big trucks is hard work.
And if the company makes that driver stay in that seat too long, bad things happen.
If you get hit by a big truck, call the heavy hitters, because around here, you matter.
1-800-LAW-0804. When I decided on a career with Visiting Angels, it was the best decision I ever made. Visiting Angels is not just a job, it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care.
As a waitress, you're running all over the place. Well, if you have a 4 or 6 hour shift, and you're in pain the whole time, that seems like an eternity. I was just aching. My feet were throbbing. I was just genuinely hurting. I kind of lost hope. And then I saw the Good Feet store and I decided to stop in. When I went in there, that's when everything changed. My name is Kristen, and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Welcome back this noon. U.S. Capitol Police were aware of the potential for violence on January 6th. That is one of the findings in a new Senate report on the U.S. Capitol attack. The report also emphasizes evidence that there were massive intelligence failures, critical miscommunications, and unheeded warnings that ultimately led to the chaotic response that day. However, the report doesn't include any examination of Donald Trump's role in the riots. Rudy Giuliani, former President Donald Trump's personal lawyer, repeatedly pressured the Ukrainian government to investigate Democrat Joe Biden over a 40-minute phone call back in 2019. During that call with U.S. diplomats, a senior advisor to Ukraine's president, Giuliani, can be heard urging an investigation of Biden, who unseated Trump in the 2020 election. Giuliani said a public announcement would clear the air really well, quote, and allow for a possible meeting between Zelensky and Trump. There is an ongoing criminal investigation into Giuliani and his Ukraine dealings, including whether he violated lobbying laws.
The Justice Department will defend former President Donald Trump in a defamation lawsuit. Columnist E. Jean Carroll accused Trump of raping her in a dressing room in the 1990s and then defaming her in his response to her claim. The DOJ argues that Trump cannot personally be held liable for any remarks he made to the press about Carroll while president. That would effectively dismiss the case, since the government cannot be sued for defamation. Two attorneys who've been representing R. Kelly now want off of the singer's federal case, which is set to start in only 2 months. Steve Greenberg and Michael Leonard filed a request in federal court. The two say it is impossible to continue to represent Kelly. A judge will review the matter tomorrow. Kelly is accused of racketeering and also faces separate federal charges of sexual misconduct. The trial is set to start August 9th in New York.
A former Wisconsin pharmacist who pleaded guilty in federal court on charges that he tried to spoil dozens of vials of COVID-19 vaccine will be sentenced today. Stephen Brandenburg is charged with 2 counts of attempting to tamper with consumer products. He could face up to 20 years in prison and $500,000 in fines. Prosecutors say Brandenburg left 57 vials of the Moderna vaccine outside of a refrigerator for hours. Brandenburg says he believed the Moderna vaccine was not safe. Companies are offering free gift cards, donuts, even beer to people who get the COVID-19 vaccine. How some people in Washington state can get free cannabis for a COVID-19 shot now. The initiative, called Joints for Jabs, allows licensed adult use of marijuana in retail shops to give away a single pre-rolled joint to those 21 and over who get a shot at an on-site vaccine clinic by July 12th. Marijuana stores must buy any joints from licensed processors or producers and must keep records of any products given away.
A very lucky Canes fan will be in the stands tonight as the home team fights to stay alive in its quest for the Stanley Cup. They are down 3-1 in the series against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Maybe the winner of Carolina's highest puck drop contest will bring the team some good luck. People entered by texting the keyword Canes or Stormy. Then a hockey puck was dropped from above, from inside the helicopter, and whichever side it landed on was who drew a winner at random. And that person is Candace Westbrook of Princeton. As Casey Cunningham reports, PNC Arena will be packed with fans like Candace cheering for the Canes.
Canes head coach Rod Brindamore was speaking at practice yesterday, saying tonight the Canes have got to lay it all on the line. They have to win tonight and the next 2 games to stay in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I actually think they're easier games to play because it's just, you know, there is no tomorrow. I mean, everyone says it, but this is it. You got to lay it all on the line.
Now that the Canes are back at PNC ready to play on home ice, fans are hoping they can pull off the win. Inside PNC, you can see up to 16,000 fans have been inside at these playoff games. Masks are optional, but since fans were last here, doctors at UNC say people who aren't vaccinated should still wear a mask inside the arena. It's possible, too, out here we'll see tailgaters starting a bit earlier today. We've seen social media lighting up saying that fans have got to come out and show their support for the Carolina Hurricanes. We've got team coverage on WRAL starting at 4. Casey Cunningham, WRAL News in Raleigh.
And as Casey mentioned, we'll have complete team coverage of the big game against the Lightning. We'll be talking to fans inside and outside the arena. Of course, there'll be tailgating and a complete post-game wrap in sports. Our coverage begins at 4 right here on WRAL. Being in PNC Arena and the ice will feel nice, especially to escape that heat and humidity that we're going to be feeling. We are feeling, Elizabeth.
Oh, that's true. That ice, being in that arena with the ice sounds really nice right about now, doesn't it? What I'm watching right now is some showers starting to develop down south. Haven't seen any lightning with these yet, but down around Lumberton and then pushing off a little closer to the coast down to the south and east, a little bit of activity. A few isolated showers, and if you look up toward Roanoke, Virginia, you can see a little bit starting to pop there. So that's about the timeline that we were expecting right around lunchtime to begin to see some things popping up. Shouldn't be a whole lot that we see around the Triangle area. Couldn't completely rule it out, though. We could see a storm pop up anywhere and produce some heavy rain in any part of the viewing area, but it shouldn't be widespread today. It's 82 degrees already there at the DBAP, and you can see some folks out there. Since I just pulled this up, I'm not sure what they're doing, but there are people out there hanging around on the ball field right now. We continue our tour from the live camera network over in Goldsboro, and it's a little breezy there. You can see the camera moving just a touch. 81 is the current temperature, and then we will head over to Southern Pines, where they've been having a lot of fun all morning long, and you can still see some of the kids out here. It looks like they may be in a camp. We've been watching the kids over here at the putting green for the last several hours. 78 the temperature there. You can see a lot of cloud cover. Of course, we have the steady flow coming right off the Gulf of Mexico, thanks to that high moving clockwise and the low moving counterclockwise. So in tandem, they're pushing all that humidity, all that moisture into our area. There are a lot of stronger thunderstorms associated with this low. This low will finally pick up and move across our area closer to the weekend and bump up our chance for thunderstorms, but I still don't think we would have widespread severe storms even then. Here's a look at Futurecast between now and 5 o'clock. You can see not a whole lot happening out there. Again, a storm could pop up anywhere. The most likely place would be south and east or south of the Triangle area this afternoon. There are a lot of graduations happening across our area, so if you're from the Triangle area northward and you have a graduation to go to this afternoon, you're probably fine. You want to be careful out there. If you hear a rumble of thunder, it's time to take shelter, but we're looking at just a minimal chance for thunderstorms all the way through the evening and into tonight, but that chance goes up a little bit for tomorrow. We take a look at this afternoon, again looking at just about a 20% chance, at least for the Triangle, 30% on Wednesday and Thursday, and then 40% on Friday and Saturday as our next front moves in. And here's that front. This is the one with that low pressure system that is bringing some thunderstorms back to the west. So ahead of the front, we continue to see a chance of afternoon and evening thunderstorms, but when the front itself starts to move in as we get closer to Thursday and Friday, that will bump up our chance for showers and storms. And then behind this front, it may be slightly cooler and slightly less humid. We're not talking about a big drop, but it still could be something. And this time of year, hey, something's better than nothing, right? In the next 7 days, we could see anywhere from 1 inch to 2.5 inches of rain. That's cumulative over the next 7 days. We're looking pretty good right now for June. Of course, we're still running a deficit from a very dry spring. Definitely going to be toasty between now and Friday with mainly upper 80s to around 90, but it will feel even hotter than that with a heat index. I'll show you that in a few minutes.
Thanks, Elizabeth. An 88-year-old veteran charged with resisting arrest. He was due in court today. Instead, courts are waiting until a state investigation into the case is done. Ahead at 4, what we've learned about the officer involved in the arrest.
Plus, water knocked out again and again. 5 on your side's Monica La Liberty looks into one neighborhood's struggle with utility digging. And Lucky Charms gets a makeover. These Loki Charms are mischievously delicious. At least that's what we're told. Why the cheerful green leprechaun is giving up his spot on cereal boxes.
The push for higher minimum wages might backfire for thousands of fast food workers across the nation. What a former McDonald's CEO says could happen as a result of higher pay.
WRAL's Weather Update was sponsored by Garner Appliance and Mattress.
It's buyback time at ARS Rescue Rooter. For a limited time, you get a new energy-efficient HVAC system for as low as $99 per month, and ARS will give you up to $1,750 for your old system. Call 919-865-7777 to schedule your appointment.
At O'Malley Tunstall, when somebody trusts us with their case, we earn that trust.
We represent the injured and disabled, and we help them in any way we can.
Inspiring stories of diverse leaders in our community helping us move forward together. Know a change maker in your community? Tell us at forward@WRAL.com.
Duke Health is a proud supporter of Forward Together Changemakers.
For 30 years, Original Mattress Factory has put our customers first, and it's no different today.
We've implemented new measures to ensure your in-store and delivery experiences are safe and as comfortable as possible. All of our employees will be wearing masks, social distancing, and implementing new protocols designed to keep everyone safe. Visit your local store or originalmattress.com to experience the OMF difference for yourself. See you soon.
Call ARS Rescue Rooter today for a complimentary water heater analysis. For a limited time, you can even save up to $650 on a new water heater, including tankless. Call 919-865-7777 to schedule your appointment.
The first child credit payments, tax credit payments, just weeks away now, and Kroger is looking to hire thousands of workers. Those are among today's business headlines with Karen Kafa.
July 15th is the date taxpayers will get the first payment from the expanded child tax credit. People qualifying for the credit will receive a letter in the mail from the IRS in the coming days. A second letter will give you an estimate for the amount of the monthly payment. Depending on income level and filing status, the payments can be worth as much as $300 per month. They'll be made around the middle of the month from July through December. Well, Kroger is looking to hire 10,000 workers for its grocery chains. The company has a hiring event on Thursday to try to fill the jobs. Interviews can be done in its stores or virtually. Kroger also operates the Harris Teeter, Ralph's, and Fred Meyer stores. It is looking for staff in retail, in e-commerce, logistics, and also in other areas. And Apple's new operating system is loaded with features for post-pandemic life. iOS 15 has updates to video calls on FaceTime. One even lets Android and Windows users join in on calls, and there are options to let users watch movies and listen to music together on those calls. Updates to Apple's mobile wallet will let users unlock everything from their home to their hotel room with digital keys. iOS 15 is expected to launch this fall. Some believe it will debut on the next iPhone. And those are your business headlines. I'm Karen Kafa on the Money Desk.
A former McDonald's CEO warns of future bad payoffs for too high wages in the fast food industry. Ed Renzi says that the continued push for the $15 minimum wage is pushing McDonald's and the fast food industry toward a virtual, all-automated business. Renzi says he thinks drive-thru will move toward more full automation, and the concept is being tested at 10 drive-thrus in Chicago. Trying to get a box of the new Lucky Charms cereal might even turn the lucky leprechaun green with envy. Lucky Charms cereal switches identity for a new cross promotion. The new Loki Charms cereal is a limited edition matchup between General Mills and Disney to promote Disney's new Loki Marvel Comics movie. The limited time offer won't be in stores. It's $8 a box, including shipping, and you can try your luck at mischievouslydelicious.com tomorrow at 11 a.m. Only 1,000 of these boxes will pre-sale to those who guessed the encrypted password, Jeff.
Vice President Kamala Harris arrives in Mexico for the second leg of her trip to combat the migrant crisis at the border. Coming up, the topics she and the president of Mexico plan to discuss to curb the spike.
Plus, when it comes to debt and financial wellness, many in the LGBTQ community say they don't have the same resources and support as others. How one same-sex couple got out of debt and now counsels others.
Winning lottery numbers right here next to me. The Carolina Pick 3, 577. The Pick 4, 2767. Carolina Cash 5 was a double draw. The first set of numbers, 1, 4, 26, 36, 38. Second set, 5, 11, 16, 25, 29.
I was in a really bad car accident a couple of years ago. I had to have my entire jaw rebuilt. I had bills racking up every single day. I called the Whitley Law Firm. Immediately, they were compassionate and told me that everything was going to be taken care of. I did not have to deal with the hassle of the insurance companies. Whitley Law Firm took care of all of that for me.
If you've been injured, call the Whitley Law Firm now. It's free. 800-785-5000. Get the Whitley advantage.
4 cup holders for all the water the internet told you to drink. Alexa for finding the nearest bathroom. Nearest bathroom. The 2021 Toyota Corolla. Right now, get 0% APR for 36 months on a new 2021 Toyota Corolla. Toyota, let's go places.
When you've been injured, nobody's going to read you your rights.
You need a lawyer to protect your rights.
Injured people depend on the Martin & Jones Law Firm.
Without Martin & Jones, we wouldn't have never made it.
I have recommended and will always recommend Martin & Jones to anyone.
For nearly 30 years, we've been there when you need us. We're still here, a little grayer, a little wiser, but stronger than ever and ready to fight for you.
Injured? Call Martin & Jones.
America, I'm here to tell you the movement is on. Thousands of homeowners are plugging into solar with Power Home Solar. We install solar in your home for zero money down, not one single penny. Come join the movement and let the sun shine in.
It's time to say thank you to the place that matters most, starting with a free estimate from CertaPro Painters. We understand how you feel about your home. That's why you can count on us to take care of every detail. Listening, prepping, painting. It's always worry-free with our expert painting team. Whatever painting project you have in mind, your local neighborhood CertaPro Painters will do the job right. Start your on-site or remote estimate today at CertaPro.com. Proven and trusted experts in painting.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
A White House task force says it is working to reunite 29 families separated due to a Trump-era zero-tolerance policy. The news comes as Vice President Kamala Harris closes out her first foreign trip in office with a meeting with the Mexican president. Monica Alba reports the meeting is key to the Biden administration's efforts to curb the spike in migration at the U.S. border.
Vice President Kamala Harris wrapping up her 2-day trip here in Mexico City, where she will meet with President Andrés Manuel López Obrador to talk about what U.S. and Mexico can both do to stem the flow of migration at their border. This trip is intended to try to address the root causes of violence, corruption, and poverty in the Northern Triangle specifically. But the Vice President has had a very clear message to people considering this treacherous journey: do not come.
The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back.
She will also discuss some vaccine diplomacy with the Mexican president here, as the U.S. has promised more than 1 million doses of surplus vaccine as part of their global vaccination distribution plan. Later tonight, she will return to Washington, D.C. after making her first foreign trip overseas as vice president. Monica Alba, NBC News, Mexico City.
Lester Holt has an exclusive interview with Vice President Kamala Harris from Guatemala as she marks her first international trip in office. Harris will speak about her effort to work with local leaders on how to curb the surge of migrants into the U.S. The interview airs tonight during NBC Nightly News as part of NBC's week-long series on the immigration crisis at the southern border.
Micaiah Thurman here in the WRAL Live Center. Less than 10 minutes ago, Colonial Pipeline CEO just finished testifying to lawmakers. This is a photo there of Joseph Blunt. This is the first time that he's actually answered questions regarding that ransomware attack. So here's what we learned. Lots of new things. The CEO said that he reached out to the FBI within hours of the attack. And they also went on to say that his decision to authorize that ransom payment to hackers was right. He said that they purchased a decryption key that worked, quote, to some degree. He did mention it wasn't a perfect tool, but that he wanted every option available to bring the pipeline back online. Now, he says it wasn't perfect, and that means they are still trying to get online a number of different servers. This testimony will be reviewed, and of course, a full report will be released. Back to you.
As cyber attacks become more prevalent, the cybersecurity industry is becoming more popular among high school students. 18 students across North Carolina recently earned the title National Cyber Scholar after winning a nationwide scholarship competition. Students solved security challenges and puzzles in a competitive 48-hour nationwide competition.
The skills we're using within the competition can be used to fight attacks, such as during the pipeline.
I mean, seeing how much of an impact cybersecurity has and all the attention it's gotten recently has made me realize how important the field is.
Each National Cyber Scholar winner gets a $2,500 scholarship for college. Countless websites and apps around the world went down this morning after Fastly, a major content delivery network, reported a widespread failure. Fastly supports news sites and apps like CNN, The Guardian, The New York Times, and many others. It also provides content delivery for Twitch, Pinterest, HBO Max, Hulu, Reddit, Spotify, and many other services. The company said on its service status website it had identified the problem and fixed the issue.
Today, hundreds of people are giving blood at UNC Chapel Hill. The 33rd annual Carolina Blood Drive is going on in the Dean Smith Center. Organizers are hoping for more than 1,000 donations today. They are especially in need of type O blood.
Last year actually was the largest single-day blood drive in the entire country during the COVID-19 pandemic. We still hold that title. We're hoping to break it today. But really, it's just an exciting day. It's so much fun to have the volunteers out. We've had donors. People were lining up outside the door just before 7 this morning. And so we're expecting a lot of positive energy and a lot of life-saving blood.
The drive ends tonight at 6. Walk-ins are welcome. Today, leaders in Cumberland County schools could take action on a plan to improve mental health for students. We asked the executive director of student services about the plan. She tells us it had already been in the works before the pandemic. It includes specific training for staff, a web page outlining the services available for students, and the creation of a mental health advisory council. The Board of Education will discuss this plan at 6:30 tonight.
The number one thing couples fight about is money, and same-sex couples face even more challenges that can add to financial insecurity. What they can do to help navigate toward better financial health.
And don't have a hurricane kit ready? Find out how Amazon can help. Next, a live interview about Amazon's new disaster relief hub in the Southeast. Our team is working to bring you exclusive stories for coverage you'll find only on WRAL. Visit WRAL.com and search only.
You need a big team to start your day off right. That's why we have the largest news team with the right tools to get there. First,
we're seeing some outages this morning. We want to take you to the
fast.
The damage inside is extensive. Fire crews putting a lot of water.
We have team coverage tracking potentially severe storms across our viewing area.
Coverage you'll get only on WRAL News.
Great to have you with us on this rainy morning.
Wake up with WRAL and start your day off right.
I was hurt at work, and I feel like the insurance company wasn't looking out for me.
It's time to put an end to the games. It's time to call an experienced workers' compensation law firm.
The law offices of James Scott Farron. I got the treatment that I needed.
Call on the Hurt line right now.
Hello. I'm the new guy. Tell me about this epic stuffed crust pizza.
It's made with fresh, never frozen dough, hand-stuffed with cheese.
Good job. All right, you called me. It is me.
No, I knew it was you.
Let me hear you say epic stuffed crust.
Epic stuffed crust!
At UNC Health, we are specialists in primary care and caring. We see you, mind and body. And with more experts, same-day appointments, and more urgent care centers, it's the better way of primary caring.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, non-stop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been? I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Lane & Associates Family Dentistry is excited to continue what we've been doing for over 40 years.
It's our mission to provide a safe and caring environment for all of your dental needs.
With multiple locations across North Carolina, we look forward to seeing you in one of our offices soon.
At Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, we love to make you
Smile.
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 We love to make you smile. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry is a proud partner of the Carolina Hurricanes. Go Canes!
Call a workers' compensation specialist that knows how to protect your benefits. They'll fight for all of your medical treatment and for the protection you deserve. Call on the Hurt Line, the law offices of James Scott Farron, right now.
Micaiah Thurman here in the WRAL Live Center. Big news from Duke. They will be at full capacity for all of their venues in the upcoming season. Take a look at this tweet from earlier this morning. Duke Athletics saying to our Blue Devil family, welcome back. We are excited to announce that Duke Athletics venues will be at full capacity during the upcoming academic year. Of course, they did mention that should state, local, or campus regulations change in the coming months, they will also adjust as well. But they posted this video just showing what things will be like come the fall. Back to you.
A recent survey found while 36% of Americans are confident about their financial wellness, only 31% of LGBTQ Americans feel that way. Sharon Epperson shares the story of a same-sex couple that counsels others in their community after overcoming their own major money challenge.
David Otten and John Schneider had their first money talk about a year and a half after dating.
We were both, quote unquote, living the fabulously broke life.
The couple also had this in common.
Between the two of us, we had $51,000 in credit card debt.
Was it comforting in some ways to know that you're both in the same boat, or was it alarming?
Both of us came from times and places when it wasn't okay to be gay. We kind of got into adulthood having this sort of inferiority complex, feeling like we weren't worthy, we weren't worth enough. And so we wanted to make up for that with our spending.
Self-confidence in financial issues is actually, it's an obstacle for most people, and particularly for people who are not necessarily feeling as if they're accepted.
But it's more than just an issue of acceptance. LGBTQ Americans can have lower income due to job discrimination or lack access to benefits. And the COVID-19 crisis has hit some particularly hard. A 2020 survey by Prudential found LGBTQ Americans were 9% more likely to have their household income drop by half in the pandemic than the straight population. And many can't depend on their families for help.
For many LGBTQ folks, they don't have their parents in that aspect of their life. They're not getting support when it comes to paying for college. They don't have parents there when they buy their first home or helping them buy their first car.
David and John managed to pay off their $51,000 debt in 2.5 years by lowering the interest rates on their credit cards. Now they counsel others through their personal finance website and podcast.
How does that make you feel? You see some light at the end of the tunnel.
It's like a weight is off the shoulders.
Whether building savings or paying down debt, they say the key to getting it done is finding someone you trust to talk about it. If you're looking for a financial advisor who gets it, there are more than 1,200 certified financial planners who've self-selected LGBTQ as their client focus on letsmakeaplan.org. That's a website designed to help consumers find a financial planner. For CNBC, I'm Sharon Epperson.
And now to a show of unity in downtown Raleigh. And what a show. A local artist just revealed a mural of light. You can find it in Moore Square. It was created after a rise in anti-Semitic attacks across the U.S. and around the world.
When disaster strikes, several global relief organizations jump into action with life-saving supplies. After the break, we'll explain how Amazon is stepping in to help those organizations obtain those vital supplies when time is of the essence.
Well, some big names are meeting today to discuss climate change. We'll tell you who's getting together to listen to the experts.
Upgrade your home fast and save with 50 Floor. 60% off all carpet, hardwood, vinyl, and laminate. Offer ends at the end of the month, so call now. Plus, save an extra $100 with promo code MAKO.
Call 877-50-FLOOR. Pick up the phone, we'll be knocking at your door.
What is the good life? Is it preparing a meal made with love for the ones you love? Having friends over for the big game? Or is it a dance party where and when you least expect it? Create the good life at Garner, your hometown specialty appliance and luxury mattress store. And an authorized GE appliance dealer, proudly featuring the Cafe Series. Let's go to Garner.
Did you know that 178 million Americans are missing at least one tooth?
It's true. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we only focus on tooth replacement solutions.
Whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can create a new smile just for you.
At a price that's affordable.
Because at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you to
go ahead and smile.
Your precious heirlooms deserve to be pampered, groomed, and cared for. We're talking about your Oriental and area rugs, of course. Your showpieces get dirty just like regular carpet, but need to be cleaned differently. Caravan Rugs uses centrifugal force technology to thoroughly and safely clean and dry your Oriental and area rugs. Caravan Rugs makes it easy with pickup and delivery in the Triangle and surrounding areas. Call Caravan Rugs today or visit us online to read our reviews and schedule your next cleaning.
We love these guys, but accidents happen. 50 Floor has a special selection of products made just for pets. And right now, they're included in our 60% off sale. Plus, save an extra $100 with promo code MAKECALL.
Call 877-50-FLOOR. Pick up the phone, we'll be knocking at your door.
WRAL is part of my family.
It has a little bit of everything that I need to know.
That's the first place I go.
Community-based, community-driven.
I want to know what's happening when it's happening.
I appreciate getting breaking news.
Crews with their gear on and trucks and helicopters, and you guys are legit.
And you know you're always going to get the truth.
We can call or we can send a text and they'll care.
And that
is coverage
you can count on.
Another above-average Atlantic hurricane season is heating up, which means people will need to assemble their emergency kits to help deliver critical emergency support to disaster-stricken communities as quickly as possible. Amazon has opened its first disaster relief hub in Atlanta. Joining us to talk about this new facility is Abe Diaz, who is head of disaster relief for Amazon. Abe, great to have you joining us. So this is the first of its kind venture for Amazon, a disaster relief hub. Tell us what the overall goal is and how it's going to benefit folks.
Hi, Renee. We've been doing disaster relief for about 4 years. We participated in over 59 disasters across the globe and donated over 13 million relief items. So this year what we're doing is we're compressing all of the time it takes for us to procure, pack, and palletize those items and doing all of that ahead of time. So we're working with 6 organizations, including the American Red Cross. What we've done is we have all those items now prepared in our disaster relief hub. So when the next disaster comes, say a hurricane, for example, we can just take those items and put them in trucks or planes if needed, and then send them to that disaster area.
Nice, so it's all consolidated in one place. So you have a facility in Atlanta. Walk us through that facility. How large is it and what do you have in there?
Yeah, so we're housing about 500,000 relief items in this facility, and I think it's enough cubic space to fill a 767 flight. So quite a bit of space that we have in Atlanta, and we're really happy to have it in Atlanta, geographically speaking, because it gives us quick access to the Gulf area, to the Caribbean, to the east or south of the United States. So.
And only several hours away from Raleigh, so we appreciate that. Talk about who's supplied these supplies. So Amazon paid for all these supplies?
Yeah, Amazon is donating all of the items. So not just are we donating the logistics, but also donating the items for these organizations. So we covered the cost for that too.
Okay. And you will certainly put that to the test come this hurricane season as we get in through the summer months and into the fall when we do see those hurricanes. So thanks so much, Abe Diaz, for letting us know about this disaster relief hub in Atlanta. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Renee.
Climate change as well takes center stage today on the Hill, and a House subcommittee is focused on emergency preparedness, response, and recovery, and will hold a hearing examining the threat. Several witnesses, including Bill Nye the Science Guy, will testify. This will happen at 2 o'clock. And we have seen some of the spots on the radar get a little bit larger here. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. We are tracking this, and they're gaining some strength here in the afternoon heat.
Yeah, we're starting to see some of these bubble up, especially down south. But this is a new one that just started here in the northern portion of Moore County, southern portion of Chatham County. That's going to be edging eastward and may continue to grow a little bit. It's just a tiny thing right now. Not really seeing any lightning with any of this, but now that we're starting to see some of this bubble up, it is moving along right now, but it's not going to be moving very quickly. So if you find yourself under one of these storms, it may produce some heavy rain for a little while. Hopefully, we won't see too much of this. The models are not advertising a lot of this afternoon, but conditions are certainly right to see some of these storms popping up. We take a look at what's going on outside. Here's Raleigh, there's Chapel Hill, there's Lake Gaston. You can see a little bit of sun there at Lake Gaston as we take a look at the view from the Point Restaurant. That looks like a lovely place to be, doesn't it? We have this flow coming up from the south. We talked about it about half an hour ago. It's very tropical feeling air mass. We take a look at the tropics, and we still have this one system that we're watching down in South America, and the Hurricane Center has given it a 30% chance of developing. Yesterday it was a 20% chance. It still wouldn't affect the United States or really even the Caribbean. Instead, it's likely to continue to track south and west back into the Pacific, possibly there, but it's not likely to head northward. So things are pretty quiet for us around the tropics. We still have this flow of moisture bringing that tropical air into our region, and it feels just awful out there right now. Our dew point is 72. That's high. I mean, the highest it gets in the worst, muggiest part of the summer is about 75 or 76. So, you know, we're pretty much there in the miserable tropical feeling air mass. And of course, when we look at our temperatures, not so bad. I mean, mid 80s for highs this afternoon, but you have to add at least 5 degrees to that. So it'll feel like 91 from about 2 o'clock to about 5 o'clock this afternoon. A very humid week ahead too. It'll feel like mid 90s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but we may get a little break on Saturday. About half an hour ago, I was showing you that front moving through. So that front could help to cool things off just a touch and dry things out a little bit also. As a matter of fact, taking a look at our outlook for temperature down the road next week, it still has us at below normal, a slight chance of below normal. We'll see how that actually plays out. Our pollen counts have been on the lower side, but have really bumped up recently for grasses. So it's not just high, but very high for grasses. And I know that tends to bother a lot of allergy sufferers. So if there's something bothering you right now, it's likely the grasses or the humidity. Our temperatures will stay close to 90 degrees for the next 3 days. And of course, feeling more like mid to upper 90s with the heat index. Saturday and Sunday, we may start to dry things out a little bit and temperatures drop, and the humidity may back off a little bit. I wouldn't expect too much out of it, though, this time of year.
All right, Elizabeth, thanks for the warning. Dollywood will be offering guests a one-of-a-kind getaway in the beautiful Smoky Mountains. Details on the newest resort edition coming up.
This weather update brought to you by ARS Rescue Router for all your heating and plumbing needs.
If you're parking at the airport, here's a shocker.
She told me we actually don't have any security cameras in the parking deck.
Why some North Carolina airports, including RDU International, don't have parking deck security cameras. Tomorrow at 6 on WRAL News.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we believe that when something belongs to you, you'll work to make it the best it can be. That's why every OMF employee is also an owner.
That gives you a great sense of pride.
If you're suffering from stabbing pain, numbness, tingling, or burning sensation in your arms, legs, hands, or feet, you may be experiencing neuropathy. Neuropathy is caused by damage to the nerves. It actually impacts the lives of millions of Americans. If you or a loved one is suffering from nerve pain and has been prescribed medication like Lyrica, Neurontin, or Cymbalta, there's finally an alternative. Highly trained doctors are using cutting-edge treatment and successfully slowing and often reversing the progression of the disease. All this without the use of medications that can be addictive, have serious side effects, and really just mask the pain. If you're tired of living in pain, then call today and learn how you can finally find relief without surgery or prescription drugs. Get the relief you deserve and get back to what matters the most. Today, the first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call now to schedule your free nerve damage screening.
Daddy, what's that big moving house thing?
It's a motorhome, Junior. Modern invention.
Modern invention? We carried our homes with us since, like, forever.
Yeah, but humans have Geico to protect them. Something goes wrong, they're covered. What do we have?
What could go wrong? Ooh, a
weather. Duck, Junior!
That's no duck, Daddy. That's a vulture.
Geico for RVs. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
It's time to remodel your bathroom, but you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually, it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Every single thing we do and action we take is pointed at one outcome: quality. That's what drives us. Every bed we make is more than just American made. It's hometown made.
We're all in this together, we're all part of the same team, and we're all committed to making amazing beds.
Cloudy skies over the Cape Fear River in Wilmington, and we have cloudy and gray skies here in the Triangle as well. But we have some sun breaking through in Southern Pines. Wow, good looking green there, and looks like it's pretty nice to play golf, but you know it's very sticky out there, and we could have a chance for afternoon storms. Dollywood's giving you a new place to stay, play, and dream. The Heart Song Lodge and Resort will be the newest addition to Dolly Parton's theme park in East Tennessee. The 5-story hotel is set to open in 2023. It's the first project in a $500 million investment there. Nearly 3 million people visit Dollywood and its water park each year. Some visitors at the Great Smoky Mountains National Park were cited for feeding a bear peanut butter. Rangers learned about this after witnesses provided them videos. They say it is critical that bears never be fed or approached for their protection and for your protection.
Today, Meghan Markle's first children's book will hit the stands. It is called The Bench. Markle says the book was inspired by a poem she wrote for her husband, Prince Harry, on Father's Day in 2019. It explores the special bond between father and son, as seen through a mother's eyes. Can't wait till she writes one about Lily, her daughter. Our pet of the day is a 2-year-old domestic short-hair cat. Meet Tabby. She enjoys cuddles at the center of, and her previous owner reported that Tabby is relaxed around gentle children and friendly cats and cat-friendly dogs as well. Tabby likes to play with other cats in her home, so she might also like other cats. And to meet this 6-pound beauty, please visit the Wake County Animal Center. It's open every day from noon until 6 p.m.
As we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines we're following today. Chapel Hill police need your help finding 4 people accused in a road rage shooting that injured a man last night. The victim captured this picture of 4 men in a blue Mazda sedan. Police say they shot from the car with an assault rifle. If you know anything about who or where they are, please contact Chapel Hill Police. It is do or die for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. The team needs to win the next 3 games to advance in the Stanley Cup playoffs. One loss will end their season. Puck drops tonight at 6:30 here in Raleigh at PNC Arena. The WRAL Sports team will have all the details tonight on Fox 50 at 10 and on WRAL News at 11. The World of Bluegrass is coming back to Raleigh live and in person. WRAL has been a longtime sponsor of this music festival. Artists will perform at venues across Raleigh like Red Hat Amphitheater and the Convention Center. The festival runs from September 28th to October 2nd. Public tickets go on sale June 15th. It's certainly one of the more popular events in Raleigh, and just always great to see people milling about, and then of course listening to the live jam sessions, the impromptu music sessions that they have there at Bluegrass. So much fun.
I went to the last one, which is now 2 years ago, and lots of folks went there and they understand what it means to get outside, get to Red Hat, and get to some of the other places with the outdoor venues and just some of the fun waiting for us this summer as things open up. It's good stuff.
A sign of the North Carolina rebound, certainly.
No doubt. We will continue to follow all the developing headlines that are important to you on WRAL News when we return at 4. Have a great day.
Here's the current time and temperature, sponsored by Honda Dealers of the Carolinas.
After a